Some bills feel sudden only because they were never given a place to wait. A car registration does not become real on the day the notice arrives. Holiday travel does not become expensive in December. A dentist visit, a tire replacement, a school fee, a pet appointment, or an insurance renewal usually has a shadow long before it has a due date. A sinking fund is the habit of noticing the shadow early. Instead of asking one future paycheck to absorb the whole cost, you let many ordinary weeks carry a small part. The method is simple, but the effect is emotional. A known bill stops feeling like a threat when it has been quietly filling its own shelf. The first step is to build a bill library. Do not start with categories that sound impressive. Start with the expenses that have already visited your life. Look at the last year and name anything that surprised you even though it was not truly random. Car maintenance, annual memberships, property costs, medical copays, school supplies, seasonal clothes, appliance repairs, travel, holidays, and professional fees all belong in the library. You do not need exact numbers at first. You need names. A named cost is easier to prepare for than a vague fear. Once the names are visible, the month becomes less haunted. Next, choose the first shelf. Most people try to create 10 funds at once and then feel behind in all of them. That makes the system feel like another failure. Begin with the category that creates the most stress when it arrives. If car repairs break the month, start there. If holidays create credit card fog, start there. If annual renewals keep slipping through the cracks, start there. A sinking fund does not need to solve every future cost in week 1. It needs to prove that one predictable cost can become calmer. Use a small recurring amount that feels boring enough to repeat. The amount should not be heroic. A heroic transfer is often the first one you cancel. A boring transfer can become part of the furniture. Even $10 or $15 repeated early can change how a bill feels later. The number is less important than the direction. You are teaching your money to walk toward the bill before the bill runs toward you. That direction is what lowers stress. The fund should be visible but not tempting. If the money sits in the same place as groceries and weekend spending, it will be asked to solve unrelated problems. Give it a separate space, even if that space is only a labeled bucket inside your mind or a separate line in your account system. In the video, imagine clean shelves: car shelf, health shelf, holiday shelf, home shelf. In real life, use whatever separation you can maintain. The shelf tells the money what job it has. Without a job, money tends to become available to the loudest problem in the room. The strongest sinking funds come from calendars, not guesses. Put the recurring costs in seasonal order. Winter may bring heating, travel, gifts, or vehicle issues. Spring may bring tax preparation, insurance, school events, or home repairs. Summer may bring camps, trips, weddings, or higher utility costs. Fall may bring supplies, renewals, and catch-up maintenance. When you see the year as a hallway instead of a pile, the next door is easier to prepare for. The goal is not to predict life perfectly. The goal is to stop being surprised by things that keep returning. Use the fund when the bill arrives, and let yourself feel the difference. This is the part people skip. They prepare quietly, pay the bill, and immediately move to the next worry. Pause for a second. Notice that the money was there because past you made room for present you. That feeling is useful. It trains your brain to trust the boring transfer. A sinking fund is not only a spreadsheet category. It is a relationship between different versions of you. There will be months when you cannot fill every shelf. That does not mean the system failed. It means the shelves need priority. Protect essentials first: housing, transportation, health, and anything that prevents a bigger problem. Lower the optional shelves without deleting them. A tiny deposit keeps the category alive and reminds you that the bill is still coming. The point is not perfection. The point is not letting predictable expenses vanish from view. Avoid 3 mistakes. Do not create so many funds that none of them receive enough attention. Do not raid the fund for unrelated spending without naming what you are trading away. Do not pretend every expense is predictable. Emergency savings still has a separate job. Sinking funds are for costs with a pattern. Emergency savings is for costs that break the pattern. Mixing the two makes both less clear. Clarity is the entire advantage. Imagine opening the closet before a seasonal bill arrives. Instead of a dark pile of future expenses, you see shelves slowly filling with light. One shelf holds car care. One shelf holds family travel. One shelf holds home maintenance. One shelf holds health and renewals. None of them are full overnight, but each one is less empty than it used to be. That is what calm planning feels like. It does not eliminate bills. It removes the shock from bills that were never truly random. The easiest way to choose fund amounts is to divide the future into smaller pieces. If a yearly cost is $300, $25 a month gives it a path. If a seasonal cost is $120, $10 a week for 12 weeks gives it a path. The math is not complicated, but the emotional effect is large. A bill with a path feels less like an attack. It becomes a visitor you already made space for. That space matters because surprise is expensive. People often pay more when a bill arrives in panic. They use the wrong account, delay another payment, or reach for credit because the money had no assigned job. You can build sinking funds by season. Winter might need travel, gifts, heating, vehicle care, and family gatherings. Spring might need taxes, home repairs, medical visits, garden supplies, or insurance. Summer might need trips, childcare shifts, weddings, higher utilities, or school preparation. Fall might need clothing, activities, renewals, car maintenance, and holiday preparation. When the year is visible, the month feels less random. You can see which shelf needs attention next. The system becomes a slow conveyor belt instead of a pile of emergencies. Keep the first version small enough to win. Choose 3 shelves, 1 essential, 1 seasonal, and 1 emotional. Essential might be transportation or health. Seasonal might be holidays or school costs. Emotional might be travel, family visits, or a tradition that matters to you. The emotional shelf is not silly. It protects meaningful spending from becoming guilt later. When a family trip has a fund, it feels chosen. When a holiday has a fund, it feels less like a financial ambush. Planned joy is still planning. Review the shelves once a month. Ask which shelf will be used next, which shelf is falling behind, and which shelf no longer matters. Funds are allowed to change when life changes. A car fund may become less urgent after a repair. A medical fund may need more attention after an appointment. A travel fund may pause while an essential cost rises. The system should stay alive, not frozen. Its job is to keep predictable expenses visible enough that they cannot pretend to be surprises. A sinking fund can also reveal which expenses are really priorities. When every future cost is only a vague worry, they all feel equally loud. When you place them on shelves, you can see which ones deserve money first. A car that gets you to work may need attention before a vacation. A medical cost may need attention before a holiday upgrade. A home repair that prevents damage may need attention before a decorative project. This does not remove choice. It makes the choice visible enough to be honest. The method is especially useful after a bill has just been paid. That moment is easy to ignore because the stress is finally over. But it is also the best time to prepare for the next cycle. If the bill was $600 and it comes once a year, the next version starts today. Do not wait until the notice returns. Put the first small piece on the shelf while the memory is fresh. The calmest sinking fund is often started right after the last surprise. If income is irregular, use percentages or windfall rules instead of fixed deposits. A steady paycheck can support a steady transfer. Variable income may need a rule, such as setting aside a small share of each payment for future known costs. The principle is the same. Do not let every good week disappear into the current week. Give part of it to the bills that are already walking toward you.